Hey, what's up guys, SBC here, and welcome to a brand new squad builder video on my channel. It's been a little while since I last did one of these. I think it was around the capture event, but I'm gonna try to bring this little series back as well, just making squads around different type of skillers. So if you want to see that, then feel free to drop a like on the video. It would be very much appreciated. Also feel free to let me know which specific players you want to see, likes of maybe the foot swap, El Sharabi and stuff, like those type of special players. Feel free to let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you're new, of course, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single upload. So starting off with this team, this one is built around the SBC Depay, and yeah, in goal I went with Ederson. I did pick him up as an untradeable actually recently. So yeah, you were able to see that I played 109 games with him. Really liked him. I did switch him around a little bit with Handanovic, but I did prefer Ederson slightly because of the kicking. As the right back, I actually did go with two options as well. I mainly played with Valencia, 130 games, but after I put this squad on Twitter, in case you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, feel free to do so. Very active on there as well. So if you got any questions or want to show me your squads, feel free to do so. But I asked you guys what kind of improvements I should make for this team, and Walker was actually one. So I decided to pick him up, play 12 games with him, and he did very good for me as well. But I mean, Valencia, for the price, he's very good too. So yeah, maybe if I have like a lot of coins spare, then I probably would go with Walker. But Valencia does a very good job as well. Then as a centre back, we have the UEFA Champions League version of Eric Bailly. He is an untradeable, played 173 games with him. So yeah, a bunch of games. I've played one weekend league with him, and I really do like him. You could maybe upgrade to Van Dijk or something, but I think Bailly is just a fantastic player, and yeah, I'll probably will be using him in the future as well as my go-to centre back. Next up to him, we have maybe a surprise to some people, as not a lot of people seem to use this guy. Miranda, only 68 pace, 88 defending, which is very nice, and 76 physical, which is decent. But I've played 15 games with him. I was going to say 55. But he's just amazing for me, honestly. I really do like him. He will probably be a player I will eventually upgrade to maybe, I don't know, maybe Van Dijk, like I said, or maybe a different Brazilian centre-back. But yeah, I just seem to really enjoy playing with him. Left back, I also went with 3 different players, but I mainly used Alex Telles. Picked him up for 9k. I think he's a little bit cheaper now, I'm not too sure. But looking at his stats, I mean, that's just a bargain. His stats are very comparable to Alexandro, apart from the physical aspect. And yeah, I also did decide to try out Marcelo, his loan version. Played 5 games, I think, with him. He's obviously a 5-star skiller this year. But yeah, Sandro or Telles. To me, it doesn't really matter that much who you go with. If you can use any Brazilian left back, I would go with Telles, simply because you will, yeah, it will save you some coins. So yeah, he would be the player I would recommend to you guys. He has great free kick stats as well, and yeah, just a fun player to use in my opinion, and isn't that expensive. But obviously, Sandro, he's just a complete machine as well. And yeah, recommend him as well. Moving on to the CDM, maybe it's a little bit of a surprise to some of you guys. That is Paul Pogba, 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, high attacking, low defensive work rates, which obviously is not the best for a CDM. But because of it, he did go forward quite a bit for me and actually scored, I think, 20 goals, which is, I think, pretty decent for a CDM, considering you usually expect your CDM to just be rock solid in defense and just be there with passes and stuff. But Pogba, he was great for me. Like I mentioned before, 5-star skills, so I could go on skill runs with him as well, and he just felt unreal on the ball. I picked him up for 460k, which I find a lot of coins, even when it's the likes of Neymar, who is even more expensive, or Mbappe. I feel it's just way too much for those type of players, but it seems like that it's just normal these days to spend that much on one specific player. But yeah, if I think it's worth it, I would say no, because it's that much, but since all players are around that price, I guess you could say it is. But yeah, there are a lot of different options you could go with as well, like Kondogbia, I was going to say. He has very similar stats to Pogba, apart from the 5-star skills, and he doesn't play in the Premier League. So yeah, he's an alternative to him as well if you don't have the coins to pick up Pogba. But Pogba, unreal player, definitely a player I will pick up later as well, because I've actually sold him right now because of the market crash. I kind of want to be be prepared for it and don't make a big loss on like the most expensive players in my club. Next up to him, we have Alan, 4-star skill moves this year, which is very nice. And he's also just a cheap CDM, which I seem to really enjoy. Played a bunch of games with him, and yeah, it's also the main reason why I actually did use Miranda, because those two actually link up very well together. And actually really like Alan as well, so definitely a player I recommend to you guys. Center mid, we have Fekir. He's the most attacking midfielder in this squad. And I actually picked him up for chemistry purposes, not gonna lie, but I actually really liked him as well. In 111 games, I've scored, I think, 21 goals and got a bunch of assists as well. And his volleys, man, they are on another level. I mean, I've scored a lot of goals with him where I basically just flicked the ball up and then just went for a first-time shot. His left foot is just amazing. Obviously, 3-star weak foot is not the best, so whenever you get a chance with him on his weaker foot, you will most likely not score. But if there's enough time for you, enough space to turn to a stronger foot, you can easily score some absolute bangers. I loved like some of the goals I scored with him as well, especially the ones with the flicks. This one being pretty nice. And also this one with his knee over the defender there, 9-goal on, very nice goal. But yeah, he's also one of the reasons why I didn't decide to go with the flashback version of Mario Götze. I feel Fekir has very similar stats. Obviously, Götze probably has some better in-game stats and stuff, but just face stats, I feel they're very similar. And yeah, Götze was also a player that didn't really fit into my team, and I didn't pick up the Royce in the end, so I felt that, yeah, to me, he wouldn't be a player that I probably would stick into a team. But Fekir, I feel, is very similar, and yeah, he's just a complete surprise to me. He's a bit of a hidden gem. I've used him on my PlayStation account as well, where I've got a bit of a similar team, but then with like less expensive players, just regular Depay, I think, and some other cheap players from the French league as well. But Fekir was just an absolute boss in that team as well, and yeah, definitely a player to try if you're looking to make a team around Memphis Depay. Moving on to the right forward, Kylian Mbappe. Picked him up for 429k. 111 games, 50 goals and 26 assists. And he's obviously an absolute machine as well. 5-star skill moves this year, which is a bit of a surprise to me. I didn't expect EA to upgrade him to 5 stars. And as soon as I saw it, I knew that I just had to try him. And yeah, I really like him in the game too. He is one of those players that can easily turn around the game for you. I think in one game he scored like a hat-trick for me, which he never really, like, he didn't show up the entire game, but then when I got some chances, he just finished them all up straight away. I think it was in this game where I scored that cheeky little flick there with his weaker foot. This was actually a really nice goal as well. Again, like I said before with Fekir, like if you're using the flick system, it's actually something that I don't see a lot of people use for champions and rivals, maybe because they are not really used to it, but it's so effective to put your opponent off guard and just get past defenders when they come in with tackles and stuff. Even though a lot of people tend to use the AI to defend, it's still a very good way to beat your opponent. But yeah, Mbappe, like I've said, amazing player, scored some pretty sick goals. I think 2 bicycle kicks from corners. That is, I think, before the patch. I'm not too sure if they're still very overpowered, but before the patch they obviously were. But yeah, Mbappe, 400k plus player. If he's worth it, I don't know. You have to judge for yourself, I think, because it's just a lot of coins. I did actually make a big loss on him, where I picked him up, I think, for 400k plus. And then when I wanted to sell him on again, I accidentally listed him for 240k. So yeah, very stupid. After it though, I decided to buy him back. So I basically made like a 200k loss on him. But yeah, anyway, moving on to the next player, which is going to be Neymar. Picked him up for, I think, 612k or something. I'm not too sure right now. I think right now at this moment he's like 560k on Xbox. So yeah, yet again, a very expensive player. I do think that a player like Neymar is worth it because he's 92 rated, but for a player like Mbappe, I find it's just really difficult to say whether that is like normal, because I feel that those players can drop easily, especially around Black Friday or Team of the Year, but obviously that's still a little while away. But yeah, it's also the reason for me that I sold especially those 2 specific players, Pogba and Mbappe. But anyway, back to Neymar. He's obviously an incredible player. 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot, unreal stats. And just like Mbappe, he can turn around games for you so easily. Now, the downside with Neymar is his strength and his stamina. It's something you will notice in game. Now, I feel anyway that even if you have a very strong striker, you can still get easily pushed off the ball by defenders like Davison Sanchez, who I've faced so many times. He's like, for me, the worst defender to come up against. Like, you just can't push off defenders off the ball. It's just so stupid sometimes. I feel that EA still need to kind of patch that. But Neymar, like, shooting-wise, you can score so many goals with him, with the outside of his foot, with his left foot. You can score some sick skill runs with him, volleys, bicycle kicks, you name it. He's just, to me, one of the complete players in FIFA you just have to try if you obviously have the coins. This is actually something that I noticed as well. I think he has a specific first touch, because this is one I've never seen anyone else do. And I think just like the one, I think like Neymar also has like a different first touch, which I think a lot of people know about as well. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's like the one he does in real life too. But I think this one looked a little bit different. Feel free to let me know if you ever seen it before, because for me it was the first time that I actually seen it in game, and I actually did it accidentally. So not too sure how you can trigger it. But anyway, moving on to the main player of this team. That is going to be Memphis Depay. 86 rated, 91 pace, 86 dribbling, 84 shooting, 85 passing. And in 114 games, I've scored 80 goals and I think 36 assists. Now, he's a player I did a video on, I think like last week or something, or the week before, where I basically unlocked the League SBC. So if you want to check that out, yeah, I'll leave it at the end of the video so you can see like which players I used for the SBC and stuff. And believe it or not, but I actually ended up spending just a little bit more than 60k on this player. So that was the only reason why I did him. I think right now he's a lot more expensive to do. I think he's around the 300k mark, which I find ridiculous, because as soon as Depay gets an inform, I think he will be around maybe 150k, but I can't really see him being more expensive, unless he maybe gets like a second inform. He maybe will be around 200k, but apart from that, yeah, his SBC is obviously way too overpriced. So if you have coins spare, I would suggest doing him, because he is the most lethal striker in the French league. Like, Cavani is pretty shit in my opinion, and I don't really think there are any other options apart from maybe using Mbappe or Neymar as a striker. So yeah, those three up front is for me so far anyway the best trio I've used in FIFA. Now Depay has some incredible finesse shots. You will see some clips where I score goals from way outside the box, from quite far out, without timed finishing, and they just seem to go in like it's nothing really. Skill moves wise as well, as you know, Depay has 5-star skill moves. He's a very fun player to dribble with. He's pretty strong as well on the ball, although yeah, defenders can still easily push him off the ball sometimes, but that's just because it's just something that is kind of broken, I think, in the game. But yeah, whether it's worth it or not, it's really up to you. Like, Depay feels amazing in the game, so he's just an amazing player. I don't think he will disappoint you, especially if you're a skiller like me. But the thing that I will let you know though is that I really think Depay will get 1 or 2 informs this year. So yeah, consider that he will get maybe a higher version. I'm not too sure when, of course. It just really depends if he plays a good game for Lyon or maybe for the Dutch national team. But as soon as he gets an inform or a second inform, I would suggest maybe picking that one up instead, and maybe wait till that one gets released, and yeah, just keep using his regular version maybe. But yeah, if you don't mind spending a lot of coins on him, as you know, he's obviously untradeable, so you can't spend those coins later on different players, which you can do if you wait till he gets an inform. Then I would suggest definitely picking him up, and you won't be disappointed. That's all I can say really. You will see some clips as well where I could have scored some pretty sick finishes. I think the one you just seen was like a Ibrahimovic back heel, which was a big shame that it didn't go in. Then we got a sick bicycle kick from yeah, very close towards the goal, but that one didn't go in either. And then this run, I actually posted this one on Instagram. If you don't follow me on there, be sure to do so as well, as I will sometimes just post random clips on my story. Like this elastico, I mean, was just so smooth. And then, yeah, I did a roulette afterwards. And then you can see that I just aimed towards the right corner, but it still went wide. Maybe should have gone with a finesse shot instead there. But, yeah, I unfortunately did blow some chances like those with the pipe. But I also did with Neymar, with Mbappe. It's just something that I feel need to be changed, because I feel that even with passing, if you pass to some player, the pass sometimes just goes to a different direction. You all know what I'm on about, I think. But anyway, let me know your thoughts about this squad, as I've seen some people actually use similar teams who also had SBC Depay. So feel free to let me know your thoughts, especially about Depay, in the comments down below. And yeah, also let me know after this video if you actually are gonna get him. And if you do, feel free to let me know on Twitter if you like him or not. But anyway, guys, like I said at the beginning of this video, if you want to see more squad builders like this, then feel free to let me know in the comments. And also make sure to let me know what kind of players you want to see. But that is pretty much the end of this video. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you, of course, did, make sure to leave a like. It would be very much appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already. And also make sure to hit the notification bell so you do not miss a single upload. But anyway, that's the end. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.